Hey friends, this is Dolynny TV. Glad to have you aboard as we start April a day late and a dollar short. But hey, what do you say? Let's get this going. The Edmonton Oilers, a victory last night. And I made her to about 10 minutes left in that third period before all of a sudden everything became a blur. And it was suddenly a 3-2 victory over top of the Vegas Golden Knights. We'll take that. That's huge. That's awesome. Don't really care how it happened in the last 10 minutes. The fact that it happened is all that matters. So if you are new to the channel right now, friends, I'll throw up my little ad here. I'd love to have you hit that subscribe button. Completely free to do. Just gets you the videos sooner. And of course, we get going. Of course, at any other time, if you want to throw your comments about last night's game in the comments section below, you can. If you want to talk about the injuries, let's go there. There's some new guys to discuss. There's a whole ton of stuff going on with this Edmonton Oilers team on a Tuesday. So let's get to it, shall we? Let's not waste too much time. The Oilers, they signed two guys today. I'm going to start with the new guy. The old new guy we already kind of knew about, and the Oilers just officially announced it today. So the Oilers added some center depth to the organization today. Look out, Noah Philp. You got some competition. Adam Henrique, by the way, you might be playing wing next year. Just going to say, you can't have four guys vying for two spots in the bottom six when you got a guy like Noah Philp and a guy like, well, David Tomasek from the Czech origin, but of course as well a guy who's been dominating the Swedish Hockey League this year. Yes, the leading scorer. We've been told that Stan Bowman's great at this. Well, signed a one-year, $1.2 million contract for next season. He's an older guy, and, well, Bob Stauffer fully expects him to compete for top 9 minutes next season with the Oilers. Again, center, right-hand shot, skilled. What does that mean? Adam Henrique, move on over to the wing. We got to make this roster reconfigure one more time, and then maybe we can ride things out for a little bit. I don't know. I don't know actually what the plan is here at this point anymore. It just all seems blurred after what has happened over the past 9 months. Yeah, you know what? Nine months ago, if you would have told me this is what the Edmonton Oilers would be doing, probably wouldn't have told you that would be the case. So interesting to see we are now actually finally adding to the ranks and obviously the up-and-comers of the Oilers, because we got nothing in the cupboards. And injuries to the Bakersfield Condors has exposed that through and through. And by the way, Colin Chalk continues to play. Guys that we signed to be or guys that we assigned and signed and whatever to be a bit of an impact on the Bakersfield Condors despite their injuries. They're playing on the fourth line, and there's a defenseman playing on the third line. Not calling Chalk out, but you know what I mean. It just, some things don't make sense, and that's why I don't coach. Then we move on to the old new guy. We've heard about this guy before, last week sometime. Josh Samanski. Yeah, this guy that he's tearing up the Dell. You know, he's a big guy. I mean, 6'5" or something is what I've heard, and 2-year entry-level deal, so he'll be around for a little while, and a guy that can easily play in Bakersfield next year. If you do choose to have Noah Philp come up, do whatever you want. I will tell you, as an Edmonton Oilers fan who's heavily invested in what happens in Bakersfield, and as an Edmonton Oilers fan who loves to see young and up-and-comers at least make a stop there, I feel like if all goes according to plan, a Josh Samanski jersey from the 25-26 Bakersfield Condors season will once upon a time have been something easy to get and will be a time ago, sorry, my graphics are screwed up here, a grail to have down the road. So these two guys, you know what? Hopefully not Gaetan Haas and Joakim Nygard. Last time we did this, not so great. So let's hope for some better results. We know the Edmonton Oilers' luck. Again, Nygard was made of glass, and Haas got hit in the head before he even set foot on the ice in a regular season game. So just anything better than that would be awesome, right? And of course, challenge to Noah Philp to make the roster next year, all the much better. And again, I'll elaborate on that in a little bit later. What we do have from Mr. Chris Knobloch today as well, head coach of your Edmonton Oilers, is the fact that, well, Trent Frederic will be the first one returning to the Edmonton Oilers lineup. The funny word is returning. It's not returning to the Oilers lineup, it's returning from injury because he is yet to play a game for the Oilers. There's some cause for concern out there in Oilersville. If you talk to the people I do, thinking, is this guy ever going to suit up for us? Is he going to be as good as advertised? What's going on here? Is this Evander Kane 2.0 just mystery thing? No. Trent Frederic, the Oilers want him to come back 100% Trent Frederic, because at this point of his career, his capabilities on an Oilers team that's asking what they're asking out of him, think about mid-late stage Corey Perry in his career and think about the threat that guy was. That's what Trent Frederic can bring to the lineup, and oh boy, do I want that in the lineup for the playoffs. So the Oilers want to make 100% certain he's back, ready to go, and crush some fools. So that's the update on Trent Frederic. But what you would have also heard in that press conference with Chris Knobloch is nothing has really changed timeline-wise with the other guys. It's still according to plan, at least for right now, whether they come back before the playoffs or whether they come back, in Evander Kane's case, Game 1, Game 2, Game 3. Pick your poison. Patrick thinks later in the series. I think Game 1, it's just kind of where it is, and someone will be right, someone will be wrong, and probably both of us won't be right. So let's go here and get this one going. Rodrigue update. Yeah, everybody's intrigued about this young guy we got on the bench all of a sudden. Wait, we've been intrigued all year because the goaltending's been absolute trash. At times. Don't skewer me in the comments. Just at times. I know what Pick's record is. I get it. He's been effective, but also the 3.0 goals against average prior to the last night and the last 9. Again, how effective? The Oilers just score when he's in net as opposed to Skinner being in net. Don't mind me. Call me crazy, to borrow a good friend's line there from Heavy Hockey Mr. Dash. Could play on the road trip. Could Oliver Rodrigue? Yes, he could. Oilers like how the rest lines up for picks, though. If I could read my own graphics, that'd be nice. So there you have it, right? Basically, the rest lines up that technically I think Calvin Pickard could play all of the games on this road trip. But at the same rate, too, the Oilers want to maybe look at getting Ollie Rodrigue games. So there's a little bit of a mix, and Chris Knobloch kept the cards close to himself today. So we'll see what happens here. But I do want to touch on, before we get out of here, after all the news is said and done, you've got your update for the day, 7.5 minutes into the video. What I do want to talk about is kind of the line I keep mentioning about how Noah Philp will be in tough next year and how that relates to Adam Henrique going to the wing and how that relates to Josh Samanski possibly playing some time in Bakersfield next year as well. Is kind of the mix you look at, right, with Samanski and, oh geez, I already forget the new guy's name. Hold on, let me get that right. And Tomasek, however you say it. We'll get an official pronunciation. Didn't get a chance to listen to Oilers Now today, my apologies. But yeah, Tomasek. Sorry, you're going to watch me stumble that one 5 more times in the video, I promise you that. Tomasek and, of course, Samanski, and then you throw in there as well Noah Philp and Adam Henrique. That's 4 centers for a bottom 6 role. You know Adam Henrique's locked into the bottom 6 at this point of his career. You know that as well. You're not expecting the other 2 guys to be top 6 players, and Noah Philp has been, for the most part of this season, guaranteed a full-time spot with the club next year. So you got basically 4 guys for 2 holes. You can make it 3 guys for 2 holes if you go out there and move Henrique to the wing. And I think you'll see with kind of some of the guys departing in the offseason, like possibly a Connor Brown after 2 years here in Edmonton, there is going to be some room to move around the wings. Jeff Skinner, might I add. There's going to be some room to kind of change things up here in Edmonton as we go into the offseason. That's already started here with these signings. So you can kind of possibly manipulate it a little bit there. And of course, then it comes down to camp, which will be nice to actually, again, see some competition. It's been a couple years now where we've actually had some competition, but again, with the LTIR and the funky stuff going on with that, the Oilers usually choose the lamest solution to the problem. So I would assume, Samanski, being that he's on an entry level, being that you can kind of manipulate that a little bit, and I'm sure the waivers aren't in effect once fall hits for him yet. You can kind of move him down to Bakersfield at least to start, give Noah Philp the rope if he earns it at the start of training camp. And then you go from there, right? Now all of a sudden you move Henrique to the wing at least to start, and you kind of let Tomasek and Samanski, Boyle down there in the minors, while Tomasek gets maybe some top 9 time alongside Henrique. And then you move in Philp to play the fourth line role. You kind of figure out what that looks like, and then you go from there. And actually, for once, the Oilers will use some bodies up front because they'll probably be able to carry a much bolder roster than 21, maybe 22 guys. They might actually be able to carry all 23. Again, that's also where Ollie Rodrigue might come into play. If you keep Stu Skinner and Cal Pickard, as you might be forced to keep Ollie Rodrigue up here as well, and it'll be due time for him to get some time at the NHL level. So the roster puzzle pieces, it's very interesting to see what the Oilers have done today. Obviously, we knew Samanski was coming in, but adding another high-skilled guy that's capable of dominating a league overseas, at least in terms of being a leading scorer for the league, it's going to be interesting now, knowing that we were basically gifting Noah Philp the fourth line role that has been, for the most part, Derek Ryan's for the past several seasons. It's now, Noah Philp's. Now there's some wrinkles to that, and it might not be Noah Philp that loses out. It, in fact, might be a veteran like Adam Henrique, who maybe at this stage of his career isn't quite the same dot guy he was before, and maybe you move him to the wing just to shelter him alongside some more higher skilled or higher end younger guys that you're adding to the lineup, and whether it be Tomasek, whether it be Samanski, whether it be Noah Philp, guys that can also impact the lineup because of the handedness, which the Oilers, I hear good things about righties all the time, and the Oilers historically have not had enough of them. So looking forward to seeing what that means for us. Of course, as well, you got to figure Corey Perry's probably winning a cup and moving on. So friends, that's my thoughts for today. Thanks for hanging out for the basically what will be full 12 minutes by the end of this video is over. Appreciate it. Yeah, definitely if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. And here's to a good April in which the Edmonton Oilers, only 17 days away, maybe 18, from playing NHL, playoff, Stanley Cup finals, all the good stuff. Stanley Cup playoffs is what I'm trying to get to. Hockey. Thanks for being aboard, friends. I am up on out of here.